Hello and welcome to Host Planet Bitesize, the podcast brought to you by Host Planet and Hostfully. My name's James Varley, the founder of Host Planet, and our goal is to share everything you need to know about buying and managing short-term rentals. Today's guest is Frank Bosi from Hostfully, and he's got 5 reasons why property managers need a PMS. Okay, real talk now for all you hosts out there. You know that moment when your guest messages you again with, "Hey, what's the Wi-Fi code?" Or you're staring at 5 different calendars, wondering if you've accidentally double booked the cottage. Yes, we've all been there. That's why here at Host Planet, we recommend Hostfully. It's basically your rentals control center. It handles bookings across all the big platforms, syncs your calendars to ensure there are no double bookings, automates guest messages, and even creates these really slick digital guidebooks that stop all the repeat questions. Honestly, it just makes your life easier and keeps your guests happier, helping you achieve those all-important 5-star reviews. And here is a little bonus. If you're a Host Planet listener, you can get $500 off onboarding for Hostfully's property management software and 30% off digital guidebooks for life. Just hit the link in the show notes and use the codes PLANET500 for the PMS and Host Planet GB for the guidebooks. And if you'd like a proper walkthrough, there's also a link to book a demo with Frank Bosi from Hostfully. He will show you how it all works. Less stress, more bookings, sorted with Hostfully. Frank, thank you for joining us on Host Planet Bitesize. Today we're going to talk about tech, and you're going to share 5 reasons why every property manager needs a PMS. So take it away with reason number 1.
Yeah, and I mean, today we're going to nerd out a little bit because we're diving into one of my favorite topics, which is tech in the short-term rental world. And now I know many of us, what we're thinking is tech can feel overwhelming, and it totally could. But there are so many tools out there, especially apps, platforms, gadgets, devices, and it's really easy to get shiny object syndrome is what I call it. But here's the thing, it really is you don't need all the tech, you need the right tech. And the beating heart of your tech stack is your property management software, your property management system, your PMS. I like to think of it as really like your mission control center. It's what ties everything together, it keeps you sane, and it honestly separates the hobby hosts from the pros. So if you want to scale, you need a property management software sooner rather than later. So as mentioned, I just want to talk about kind of the 5 essential tech pieces and really why a property management software isn't just helpful, but it's absolutely critical and necessary. Really, you want channel manager magic. You want a centralized reservation system or a place to see all the centralized reservations. So if you've ever accidentally double booked because Airbnb didn't sync with Verbo fast enough, you're not alone. It's not going to be your first time. And that's why you need a property management software to act like the ultimate calendar, kind of like a bouncer of the calendar and keeping everything in line to help you streamline. And really, you want to sync Airbnb, Verbo, Booking.com, your direct booking site. You want all of that to be consolidated into one calendar. When a booking comes in, it automatically blocks everywhere instantly. And really just make sure that the property management software you choose supports direct bookings. So you're not handing over 15% of your revenue to the OTAs every single time. You want to grow your direct bookings, even if it's by 2 or 3%. You don't just want to leave your eggs in the OTA basket. That's number 1 is really the channel synchronization. But then you want automated guest messaging. Now, you are not a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week call center. But you know what? The guests expect you to answer like you are a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week call center. And that's where automation is going to save you a lot of time. But most importantly, it's going to save you a lot of sanity. With the right setup, you can still sound professional and personal without typing, the Wi-Fi password is sunshine 123 100 times a month. So really, you want to automate booking confirmations, your check-in info, your checkout reminders, Use personalization fields. So instead of like a cold template, you want it to read, "Hey James, your code for the Oakwood cabin is 4621." For example, make it personalized to the guest. And then you also want to sprinkle in some brand personality. Now, whether that's a fun emoji or maybe a signature sign off, you want that feel to be authentically communicated. Here at Hostfully, I end all of my emails with "Hostfully yours." That's our brand. That's my signature sign off. That's my personality, right? So you want to communicate that over. And then Hostfully also has in our messaging, we have special conditions where you can send an email, text message, or WhatsApp days or hours before the stay starts, before the stay ends, after the stay starts, after the stay ends. You can also send it on a specific day of the week. You can send it when when a rental agreement is signed. You have all of these different conditions. And we can get really granular with your setup as well. Then we have smart home devices, because really tech should work while you're asleep. So smart locks, thermostats, leak sensors, garage openers, essentially all the gadgets that make you feel like James Bond. And I say that because every time I pull into the car, I pull the car into the driveway. We just installed what's it called? Q something. MyQ. We just installed MyQ, and every time I pull into the driveway, I feel like James Bond when I open it up remotely. But anyway, I digress. So smart locks are game changers. So you can no longer, you no longer have to hide the keys under the mat. No more guests gonna text you at midnight because they can't find the lockbox. Or let's be honest, they can't figure out how to use the lockbox themselves. And when it's integrated with your property management software, that's magic. You're sleeping. You're getting better sleep. You're going to have more energy for the next day ahead. So really, it's imperative to have a smart home device. Give your guest a unique lock code that activates at check-in and expires at checkout, which increases not only your sanity, but the safety of your unit, as well as the safety for your guests. Preset the thermostat so the house feels cozy, refreshing, and inviting when the guest arrives, but also it's going to be energy efficient when they leave. There's also noise monitors for peace of mind. So you can catch that wild party before it becomes a 1-star review from your neighbors. So those kind of smart home devices are really important. But then you also have payments and reporting. You have to follow the money. Nobody gets into the short-term rental industry because they love spreadsheets. I don't think anyone loves spreadsheets. Well, I have a few friends that love spreadsheets, but I lose myself when they talk about it. But tracking revenue, tracking payments, and owner commissions, that's how you keep the lights on. So it is important to do and do correctly if you want to scale and be successful. And really, this is where your property management software shines. It takes the boring but necessary stuff off your plate completely. Connect your property management software to your payment processor so your guests can easily pay you securely, especially with direct bookings. Automate receipts and invoices so your guests, your owners, they get them instantly. You create your customized report on Hostfully once. You set up that automation to go out the first month or the end of the month once, and everything is set. You can also use your property management software dashboard like a cockpit. Real-time insights into revenue, occupancy, and overall trends. You're not going to have any more confusion or mystery about whether you actually made money that month. You can easily pull a report on our software or even view our dedicated analytics feature for a quick snapshot of how your properties are pacing. And then lastly, there's Hostfully Digital Guidebooks. It's where we all started. And David, our co-founder and president, he calls it the secret sauce for guest experience. So, and it's really the part I love, and the key takeaway for it all is turning your guest communication into something unforgettable and fun. You want them returning. So those paper binders, those random sticky notes, those are all outdated. Digital guidebooks are really the way forward, and they're the way of the future for your guests, but also for your team. And they make you look like a total professional. So with that being said, you can load your guidebook with Wi-Fi details, house rules, even step-by-step check-in instructions. Using photos and videos as well in our guidebooks really go a long way. And then you could add your recommendations, your brand, your local flavor. Be sure to include your favorite taco joint, the best coffee spot, or even that hidden hiking trail that only locals know about with some cool, fun facts about certain spots. And you can keep it visual. Our guidebook accommodates photos, maps, videos, and because it's digital, you can update it anytime. Gone are the days of having to reprint your guidebook when there's an update or a change needed. And the big picture here is that you don't need every shiny gadget out there. But like I mentioned earlier, you do need the right tech and the right property management software at the core of your business. There's not one property management software out there that will accommodate and please every single property manager. So again, a good property management software, it's going to centralize your bookings. It's going to automate your guest message. It's going to connect with the smart devices. It's going to handle your payments. But ultimately, we wanted to level up the guest experience. So really, without a property management software, you're kind of duct taping tools together and hoping for the best. With it, you're running a professional, scalable hospitality business. And hey, at Hostfully, that's exactly what we're obsessed with. We want to help hosts like you take back your time, wow your guests, grow your revenue, and scale as a short-term rental operator. Because at the end of the day, tech isn't about making things more complicated. It's about giving you the freedom to run your business smarter and not harder. And I mean, the best way to do that is with the right property management software.
100%, yeah. And I think the way to look at a great PMS is not as a cost, but as an investment, because it's going to help you grow your business, ultimately earn more revenue. You're going to have happier guests, better experiences, not just for your guests, but your entire team. So, think about all those different things, all those benefits, the channel syncing, the automated guest messaging, integration with all the tech. We've talked about smart locks a lot, Frank. We all know how brilliant they are. And of course, using the digital
it's your favorite thing, right?
It's definitely one of my favorite things. Yeah, you can tell I've just installed a few at my properties, can't you? So, and the digital guidebooks, of course, as well, helping you to appear, or showcase yourself as a professional host who knows what they're doing. These things really do impress guests, and that, as we were saying, leads to better reviews, leads eventually to guest rebooking, and ultimately more revenue. So people out there, Frank, there'll be people thinking, right, sign me up. If they want to find out more about Hostfully, about the PMS, the digital guidebooks, where do they go?
Yeah, so I shared a link with James. It's going to bring you directly to my availability, my calendar. However, if you want to email me, it's frank@hostfully.com. If you just want to learn more about Hostfully, just go to hostfully.com. We have a ton of resources, webinars, case studies on there. It really is a wealth of information. But again, I'd be more than happy to have a one-on-one personalized demo with you, answer any questions you have. And again, it's frank@hostfully.com. Even if you just have a few questions about your current property management software and what the comparison is between the two, happy to chat. Again, just leaving it off, there's not one property management software that's going to make every property manager happy. But the best thing you can do is your due diligence, check us all out, see which one works best for you. And Hostfully is here to answer any questions you have about that.
Superb. And of course, we've got a couple of special offers as well. We've got $500 off onboarding for the PMS and 30% off digital guidebooks for life. Those offers and codes are in the show notes. So check them out. Book your demo with Frank. And hey, presto, you'll be working with a PMS and it's going to supercharge your property management business. Frank, real pleasure as ever. Thanks for joining us on Host Planet Bitesize.
Yeah, always a pleasure chatting with you, James. Thanks for having me.
Great to chat to Frank Bosi there about STR Tech. If you're not already using a PMS, make sure you give Hostfully a try. All right, that's it for today's episode. Remember, this podcast is brought to you in collaboration with Hostfully, which is trusted by short-term rental professionals across the globe. As a Host Planet listener, you get 2 exclusive offers: $500 off onboarding for Hostfully's property management software. Just use the code PLANET500, and 30% off digital guidebooks for life. Use the code HostPlanetGB. To grab these deals, click the link in the show notes or head to hostfully.com. For more free education tips and trends from the STR industry, visit hostplanet.club, where you can sign up for our newsletter, listen to our podcasts, and download a suite of ebooks for hosts and property managers. That's it for today's episode. Until next time, happy hosting.